Well, that wasn't the strangest thing to ever happen to me. Don't think I'll be heading back to that courtroom anytime soon. I wonder where Coolman's gotten off to. Kinda wanna do another review with him.
Wow, Rarity, you're looking magnificent today. Would you like some more Earl Grey?
Hey, Coolman! Whoa! Okay. Did not expect to see this. Awkward. Well, when your tea party is finished, meet me in the review room. I have a comic I think you'll want to review.
Yeah, I'll be right out.
Fillies and dental colts, foals of all ages, I'm here to warn you that there are spoilers in this video. This comic is another installment written by Katie Cook and drawn by Andy Price, and it is titled Reins, Trains, and Carts with Wheels, making a reference to the comedy Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Instead of sitting here listening to me fanboy again over Andy Price, Coolman, what do you think?
Not much to say about the art style for me. I mean, I like it, but I'm not really too picky about art.
So the comic begins with Best Pony delivering a letter to the apples. Yes! Derpy Cameo is best cameo! So the letter says that the West Coast oranges in, Applewood, California. Seriously, Katie Cook, you could have come up with a better horse pun for that. Like, for example, Los Pongenes, or Halterwood. I would have even settled for Ponywood, but instead, Applewood. I will admit that California is actually a pretty good pun. Anyways, it would appear that they want to do some business with the apples. AJ is super excited for the extra business because they need a few more bits to fix the barn. For the 11 billionth time.
I think they sell insurance for that. So after the Cutie Mark Crusaders don't get their base jumping marks, Applejack barges into Rarity's house to see if she has a suitcase. When Rarity finds out AJ is going to Applewood, she begs to come along.
Eventually, AJ caves in and lets Rarity come along.
What could possibly go wrong?
So they both board a train, and fast forward a few hours, they arrive in Salt Lick City and have a short stopover. Rarity assumes the role of a tourist and decides to go check out Equestria's largest ball of cashmere yarn, which isn't too exciting to AJ, who gets bored and decides to take a nap.
Don't forget the appearance of the Season 5 script in the goat pen, which is slavery since goats are sentient, according to putting your hoof down.
Unfortunately, Rarity forgets to be responsible and does not wake AJ up in time for their train. The train they do manage to get on, in the nick of time, doing a very dangerous thing that I would not recommend you try at home, is going in the wrong direction. Its destination, Seattle. Rarity's excited. They can go see the water shows, or whatever. But AJ is not too happy about the current situation, since the only train back to Applewood leaves the next day.
After some amazing stunts, a boat takes out their ride back to the train, so by hoof it is. But of course, because that wasn't bad enough, it starts to rain and they have to take shelter in a nearby barn.
The next day, AJ decides that it's time to work on her business plan. Sell apples.
That's a solid plan.
Anyways, they discover that the barn is used to house something known as a gyroflyer.
Convenient!
And with absolutely no training and no permission from the owners, they steal it and take to the sky. And after a little bit of flying, they get into an argument about how AJ didn't even confirm a meeting with the oranges, but is still insisting that they get there ASAP. While they're bickering, Rarity stops steering, and so the contraption crashes into Mount Monument. Seriously? I mean, Mount Horsemore! The puns write themselves! Also, oh look, an observer pony. Meh, I'm over it. I've already reviewed Reflections, I can stop freaking out over them.
So after AJ and Rarity become Luna's boogers, They find out they're heading the wrong way again. They scarf shoot down to a generic western town where they buy a coach ride to San Francisco.
Along the way, they encounter some highway bulls that try to rob them. Wait, hold on. Why make the splash page? It requires you to turn the comic to the side. They could have used both pages and still had the same image. It would have looked a lot better. But they had to do it how they had to do it. Moving on.
So to defend Rarity's hair, AJ takes down the gang. But while doing that, Rarity finds AJ's solid business plan. They proceed to argue while beating up the bulls. Rarity, even though she is mad at AJ, wants to help her write a better plan because they're still friends after all. Yay! Friendship is magic!
After they finish, AJ decides to surprise Rarity by not insisting on heading to the Orange's house right away. Instead, they go to
Winnieland!
And after a day of fun at the park, they finally head to the Orange's house and find out that they had absolutely no clue that AJ was coming to visit. Meanwhile, back in Ponyville, Granny realizes that it may have been the East Coast Oranges that sent the letter, not the West. Then, some funny travel photos and other messages are displayed. The end.
So all in all, I love this story, but I may be a little biased because of my love of Rarity. It's a nice, goofy comic, and most of the pages made me laugh pretty hard. I love the little jokes in the background. That being said, there was some weird geography. Some of the puns are pretty bad, and I mean unfunny bad. Some of them don't even really make sense, like most of the town names. It had a good moral about letting friends help you out even when you don't necessarily think you need their help. This can be a hard thing to remember sometimes, especially as you get older. I give it an 8 out of 10 because even with its flaws, I do find it really funny and had a good time with it.
That's where our opinions kinda differ. I'd give this comic 3 sell Apple business plans out of 10. There were some parts that were funny, and it was well paced, but just some of the puns were just cringe-worthy bad. And that's coming from a pony who likes puns. And then, as it turns out, the entire story is just completely pointless because the West Coast Oranges weren't expecting AJ. And according to one of the photos at the end, the East Coast Oranges will never hear from AJ. Also, on their journey, Rarity and AJ steal a gyrocopter and crash it, and don't even get punished. There's just a cheeky little photo at the end that says the gyrocopter owners are still looking for their missing gyrocopter. Whatever could have happened to it? And though they did get some of Rarity's personality correct with her being a business pony and being able to help AJ on her business plan, she acted a lot like Pinkie Pie for most of the comic. And I don't understand why. Katie Cook has written Rarity before, and it was fine. I don't know. If there is one good thing about this comic, it would be how the moral was presented. It wasn't like overtly there, it wasn't stated, and it's up to interpretation. Unlike Coolman, I saw the moral as being, don't forget to stop and smell the roses, or it's not about the destination, it's the journey. That's the best part about the comic. That's it. I don't know. I expected more from Katie Cook. Well, that is our 2 bits on Reins, Trains, and Carts with Wheels. Tell us your 2 bits in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not suggest a possible future spoiler alert, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
I don't normally do reviews, but if you want to check out some original My Little Pony / non-My Little Pony music, click the link in the description.
Also, don't forget you can support my 2 bits on Patreon. Well, I'm Comic Sans.
And this is Coolman Stan, signing out.
And next time I'll be covering the comic titled Discord in Time, according to the wiki, which could be true, could be a lie, but it's better than the title I was gonna call it. Basically, it's the comic with Discord, the CMC, Fluttershy, and involves time travel. And Coolman, you can now return to your date.
You know, I have a derpy plushie if you want a double date.
Eee, wait for me!
Rarity, I just love the way the sunlight reflects upon your mane. It looks so beautiful. I love you too.